Please join with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before us now, we have a resolution to approve our agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that the board approves the minutes from the workshop meeting of May 14th, 2024 be approved as presented.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. For the agenda. Right, for the agenda.
Yes, sorry, the agenda.
Yeah. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the resolution to approve our agenda has passed. Before us now is a resolution to approve our previous meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the minutes from the workshop meeting of May 14th, 2024.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of the May 14th, 2024 meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed, same sign. And our minutes have been approved. Welcome to this meeting. This is a time of our meeting for public participation where individuals address the board regarding their concerns or congratulations to our district. I have one individual who has indicated they wish to speak to the board. If Ms. Sherry Anderson is present, make your way to the podium, and we'll you have 5 minutes then for your remarks.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Sherry Anderson. I teach social studies at Kern Middle School, and I have more than 30 years of experience as a classroom teacher in public education. Wow, a lot has happened at the middle schools recently. We've had a reduction in force to all the 7th grade science and social studies teachers, and now there is a retention incentive for secondary math and science teachers. According to the letter sent to the secondary teachers of math and science, these are highly qualified teachers in hard-to-fill areas. So why did we reduce the force of 7th grade science teachers? There are a lot of questions around the monetary retention incentive, such as who is this generous donor? How much exactly was donated? And if it's a donation, why and how can it be taxed? According to the official form sent from the district to the science and math secondary teachers, and I quote, "This retention incentive is taxable and all regular payroll taxes will be withheld. So how can this be called a donation?" I spoke with the managing partner of a CPA firm, and donations cannot be taxed. People are declaring that this generous donor has a business model to follow, which is why he or she is only offering it to secondary math and science teachers. But all business models are designed to make money. So how does that work in public school? According to the CPA I talked to, all donations are tax-free. So I wonder what you, the school board, know about this incentive/business plan. If it's a donation, it can't be taxed. And if it's a business plan, how can it make money on public schools? I hope you will ask questions and investigate. The teachers who fall under the parameters of this incentive have to make a decision by Friday. And they've been asking me a lot of questions. For example, if a young teacher agrees to stay and signs the 10-year agreement for the $10,000, but then there's another reduction in force, does that teacher get riffed? And if she does she have to give back the money? And who does the money go to if she has to pay it back? Who gets it? Not the donor, or it wouldn't be a donation. Also, if that same young teacher agrees to stay in Council Bluffs for 10 years, does that mean that teacher has job security and can't be RIFed for 10 years? And what does that do to seniority? So if there is another reduction in force, will the teacher who agreed to the incentive be prioritized over other teachers with more seniority? There is little to no transparency here. And at Kern, our math and science teachers have reached out to our administration with questions, which they should, because according to the board president, Jared Tripp, this would be a building issue, and you should go to building administration. But guess what? They haven't been informed either, so they don't know. It seems shady and questionable. So here are some questions that you might want to ask. What is the data here, and how many math and science teachers does this involve? Is it 40, 50? Did the math sped teachers and coaches get this opportunity? Does anyone know the total amount of money this would cost the donor? I mean, I think these questions should be asked and answered. But let's move on. We've really had some weather here in Council Bluffs, and this morning was very scary. If there's inclement weather in the morning, please remember that middle school staff contract time is 7:10 a.m. Many teachers arrive at the middle schools before 7:10. Breakfast starts at 7 for middle school students, and they are at the buses at 6:30-ish. So today, that was right in the storm, today. We did have a 2-hour late start, which was appreciated. It was awesome. But I received my notice through text at 7:06 a.m. And so did all of my colleagues, 7:06. Parents were notified before staff. I know a parent who got his notification before 7. Whoever is in charge of these kinds of decision-making, please remember middle school's early start time and release time when you make these kinds of decisions. Thank you, and have a great summer.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board? Seeing no movement to the podium, we will move forward with our superintendent's report. Dr. Murillo.
Thank you, Mr. Kozar. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Colmine to the podium. We have a lot of students to celebrate this evening, along with some 3 very special staff members. So, Ms. Colmine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo, and good evening. Like Dr. Murillo said, we have a lot of talented students here tonight that we are recognizing as our star students. At this time, I'd like to invite Superintendent Dr. Murillo and also Vice President of the Board, Dave Kozire, to the podium to assist in recognizing our star students. All right, first we are recognizing students from Kern Middle School and Abraham Lincoln for their accomplishments at the National History Day contest this past April. National History Day is a program where students choose a research topic relating to a common theme, this year's being Turning Points in History. Students work all year to research, interview experts, and to create their projects for competition. Students work after school, many weekends, and many late nights to craft their projects. To start with the National History Day, I have 5 students who are advancing to the national competition in Washington, D.C. this summer, where they will compete with students from all over the world. The first student is Dutch Smith, and Dutch is from Abraham Lincoln, and he was a national contest qualifier. He participated in the senior individual paper category, and the title of his project was From Oppression to Revolution, the Easter Rising as a Turning Point in Irish Politics. Next, we have Kaya Schliefman from Abraham Lincoln. And Kaya is also a national contest qualifier and winner of the African American History Award. She was in the Senior Individual Documentary category, and the title of her project was Turning the Tides, James Meredith's March to Confront Fear and Disparagement in the U.S. Next, we have Emily Newby from Abraham Lincoln, who was a national contest qualifier and winner of the Oberman Beck Scholarship. She participated in the Senior Individual Documentary category. The project title was Norman Lear's socially conscious sitcom, A Turning Point in Network Television. Next, we have Isaiah Burkhart from Abraham Lincoln as a national contest qualifier. He participated in the Senior Individual exhibit. His project title was Anne Carroll Moore, Turning the Page in Children's Literacy. And our last national contest qualifier is Anna Johnson from Kern Middle School. She participated in the junior individual documentary. Her project title was The Longest Street in the World, How Sesame Street Revolutionized Education. Yeah. So just a quick FYI that these 5 national contest qualifiers will be hosting a spaghetti dinner and silent auction at Corpus Christi Church this Thursday evening from 5 to 7 p.m. to raise funds for their trip. So if you would like to join to help them raise money, or I'm sure they're taking donations at the door when they leave tonight. Thank you. Okay, just a few more National Honor Day honors from National Honors Day from this April. We have Angela Nelson from Kern Middle School as a state contest finalist. And she participated in the Junior Individual Documentary, where her project title was World War II, A Riveting Turning Point for Women. We also have Adrian Stotts and Abigail Nelson, both from Kern Middle School, and they were winners of the Iowa History Award in the junior group exhibit, and their project title was A Case of Stolen Heritage, Maria Pearson and Nagpura. And then finally, Brianne McDermott is a teacher at Kern Middle School, and she's also the Abraham Lincoln sponsor, and we just wanted to give her a shout out because she was the National History Day teacher in Iowa and Teacher of the Year honorable mention. Next, this is so exciting. For the second year in a row, we have a Gates Scholarship that was awarded to one of our 2024 graduating seniors just this past weekend. This particular student was part of our Early College Academy, and it is Jose Avalos Rosas. So a little bit about the Gates Scholarship. It is a highly selective last dollar scholarship for outstanding high school students from historically underrepresented backgrounds. Each year, the scholarship is awarded to exceptional student leaders with the intent of helping them maximize this potential. This year, Jose is one of only 750 students out of 53,000 applicants to receive a full cost of attendance scholarship to any four-year university across the country. Jose plans to attend Indiana University in the fall and study finance. And as a Gates Scholar, Jose joins a very elite group of young leaders who represent the pinnacle of academic achievement, service, and commitment. Congratulations, Jose. Tonight, we also have 4 seniors who graduated just this past weekend, 2 seniors from AL and 2 seniors from TJ, and they were recognized by the Iowa Governor Scholars Program. So each year, the governor's office the Iowa High School Athletic Association and Iowa Farm Bureau honor some of Iowa's highest achieving graduating seniors. This recognition began in 2003 and has become a proud tradition of celebrating students' hard work, dedication, and perseverance. These students were selected by their high schools as the highest academic achievers and received a recognition plaque and certificate to commemorate their achievement at the Iowa Events Center in Des Moines on April 28th. We have two people who are unable to be here tonight due to soccer commitments, so I will say their names first. They are Alicia Mascarenas and Taryn Gant. Then we also have, we're going to invite Jose back to the stage. Jose Avalos Rosas is here again, and joining him is Gavin Rothmeyer. I don't think Gavin's here. Yeah. Okay. And lastly, we are recognizing many students in our very popular robotics program. VEX Robotics is a student-led program that teaches students to design, build, code, document, and compete in robotics. They watch a 2-minute video on the game being played that year, then they study the game manual and other resources to come up with the best solutions to play the game. These students must document each decision they make in an engineering notebook and undergo in-person interviews regarding their journey. There are 20,000 teams worldwide. Out of those, roughly 500 teams per level are invited to compete at VEX Worlds. These students were invited to compete through their accomplishments at the State of Iowa VEX Championships. Council Bluffs Community School District has created amazing opportunities to embrace STEM through collaboration with our 21st Century Clubs that provides a great feeder system to the high schools. And by the time our students reach high school, most robotics students will have had the ability to compete for 5 years. So this year at TJ High School, we have the Shenanigans team, coached by Shannon Dunlap and Andrea Galloway. And this team was finalists in the Iowa State competition and earned the right to compete at the U.S. Open, placing in the top 50% and competed in finals elimination. This team competed at VEX Worlds in Dallas, Texas. We have 3 people here, and here they come. We have Alexis Franks, Alex Wunderlich, and Kaylee Miracle. Next, we have our junior jacket robotics. The Gator Girls are Wilson students coached by Matt Koletsky, Sarah and Mike Large, and Troy and Christy Arthur. This team earned the Excellence Award at state, identifying them as the ideal example of what a robotics team should be. They earned the right to compete at U.S. Open and made finals. This team competed at VEX Worlds in Dallas, Texas, finishing in the middle of their division. These girls have overcome so many obstacles this year, and we are so proud of them for finishing strong. And up here is Mary Bell Smith and Elizabeth Wunderlich.
She sold you out. You wouldn't get to hide in the back.
Without your help, like, we wouldn't be able to go. We appreciate everything you allow us to do.
Next, we have the Laker Bots Wilson students, coached by Angie Smith and Amanda Gretz. This team made excellent strides this year, coming from the bottom half to the top half at state and getting to represent our community at Worlds. They were such a fun team to work with and received so many positive comments from teams that they met in Dallas, Texas. With us tonight is Andrew Cox and Findley Savage. Finley. Next, we have a 21st Century Community Learning Centers team called the Junior Goats from Rue Elementary, coached by Sarah Large. And this team won at state this year and earned the right to compete at Worlds. This team worked hard and made great progress this year. And we have 3 students that participated. We have Hadley Baxter, William Witzke, and Layla Lees. Next, we have the Buzzy Bots number 2 from Roosevelt Elementary, coached by Jen Folks. This team earned the Excellence Award at state, identifying them as the ideal example of what a robotics team should be. They also competed at U.S. Open. While attending the 2024 World's Robotics Competition, they earned the Aspire Award, and this award is given to the team that exhibits passion and positive attitude at the event, as well as being the team that exhibits integrity and goodwill toward other teams, coaches, and spectators. Congratulations, Buzzy Bots number 2. To bring home an award from Worlds is no small accomplishment, and we have Ashley Franks and Levi Garbez with us tonight. And finally, we have the 3 Musketeers from Longfellow Elementary, coached by Kira Moore. This team was the skills champion at state, proving their robot was able to score the most points in 1 minute. They earned their way to Worlds through their skills and really embraced the experience in Dallas, Texas. And tonight we have Kane Macias Perez and Maximus May.
Mr. Milborn?
All right, good evening. I am honored tonight to present to you our Employees of the Year. We have 3 fabulous categories here, so I would like to thank all the buildings who nominated individuals, and thank you to the Council Bluffs School Foundation for sponsoring this event. So we will start with the Support Staff Member of the Year, Miss Kelly McGreevy, our School Operations Manager at Kern. Kelly, come on up. All right, Kelly, I'm going to share what your nominator said, if that's okay. Ms. McGreevy exemplifies the district mission of #AchieveMore and #TheLinksWay through her outstanding support of students, staff, and overall school operations. She provides caring guidance to students, facilitates professional growth for staff, coordinates building management tasks, and plans school-wide events. Ms. McGreevy's trauma-informed approach builds positive relationships with students. Her leadership has increased staff survey scores, and she ensures classrooms are staffed, supports custodial needs, coordinates administrative assistance, and oversees fundraisers and incentives. Ms. McGreevy is an invaluable asset who greatly deserves the recognition of Support Staff Member of the Year. Congratulations, Kelly. Kelly's joined by her principal, Ms. Jens, and I see her hubby, Mr. McGreevy, back there as well. Congratulations. All right, our second individual we're going to honor tonight will be our licensed staff member of the year, basically our teacher of the year, and that is Ms. Trista Pitt from Carter Lake. Come on up, Trista. Trista's nominators share the following. Trista is an exceptional educator who goes above and beyond for her students, colleagues, and school community. She sets high expectations, builds strong relationships with students and families, and supports learning both in and out of the classroom through engaging instruction. Trista is a leader, and her solution-focused mindset, belief in all students' ability to learn, and willingness to try new interventions makes her an invaluable teammate. After taking on a kindergarten teacher position later in the year, Trista created a positive, nurturing environment where she taught academic skills alongside social emotional skills like emotion regulation. Her dedication, caring nature, and focus on relationship inspired her students to see themselves as capable learners. Trista's colleagues deeply appreciate her kindness, support, positivity, expertise, and unwavering commitment to helping students and families and staff succeed. She is an inspiration and asset to Carter Lake Elementary. Congratulations. And if you're here to support Trista, would you stand up as well so we could give you a round of applause? Yeah. Thank you. All right, and finally, we are going to announce our principal of the year, Miss Amy Anderson from College View Elementary. Come on up, Amy. Amy's nominators shared the following. Amy is an exceptional principal who embodies collaborative leadership and an unwavering commitment to student achievement. Amy's leadership is defined by her strong desire to foster a highly collaborative school culture where leadership is shared among her team. She strikes a masterful balance of focusing on student performance and school culture while also instilling in students the critical skills of inquiry, advocacy, and taking action. Beyond the school walls, Amy's expertise is widely recognized. She has been selected to serve on various district teams and as a mentor for new principals, roles in which her deep understanding of strong instruction and the importance of positive teacher-student relationships shines through. Through her collaborative approach, growth mindset, instructional wisdom, and commitment to developing both students and educators, Amy exemplifies the qualities of an exceptional principal, and she's most deserving of the Principal of the Year. Congratulations, Amy. And I see Amy's joined by her daughter, Charlie, and her son, Trip. And her parents, David, Linda, and her husband, PJ, as well. Congratulations. Yeah, and if you're here to support Amy, would you stand up well? Because I see a lot of staff and students here as well. Congratulations to all our employees of the year.
No.
Yeah, it is.
And Mr. Kozar, that ends my superintendent report for the evening, but I also would like to say thank you to Mr. Milborn, that's out back there roaming some. This is Mr. Milborn's last board meeting with us, and we are very thankful for all of the work and everything that he's done to support our school district and human resources. So thank you, Mr. Milborn.
Thank you.
I'll do it one more. Okay. And before I turn the platform back over to Mr. Kozar for the rest of the meeting, I want to take a brief minute to recognize our board members. And I'm digging for glasses, I'm sorry, so I can see what I wrote. This is the time every year that we celebrate the support efforts and the work that our board members put in to support our school community. And tonight, we're recognizing them with a state certificate from IASB, a nice little cookie for them to enjoy on their ride home, and then we are featuring them on social media. So if you're following us on X, Instagram, Facebook, you will see us post each day one of our new board members and talk a little bit about them, just to thank them for their service and for their support. So please join me in recognizing our board members, those that are left. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo. Before us now is the resolution portion of our meeting. We have one resolution as well as our consent agenda. Do I have a motion regarding our resolution?
I move to approve the second reading of policies and corresponding administrative regulations. That is policies 103, Strategic Plan Needs Assessment, 104, Annual Report to the Public, 528, Staff Transporting Students in District-Owned or Personal Vehicles, 602, Organization of Instruction, 612, Eligibility for Student Activities, 614, Student-Teacher Ratio, 622, Student Progress Reports to Parents, 623, Promotion Requirements from Middle School to High School, 635, Grade Level Acceleration, 635.1, Grade Level Acceleration Procedures, 912, Parent Involvement, and 912.1, Parent and Family Engagement in Title I Buildings, as presented.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I just noticed something really small in 912.1, number 14. The last sentence said, "It is make available to families." Should it be made instead of make?
So we'll correct that
So
typo.
close. Okay, if there's no further discussion, we have before us a resolution to approve the second reading of our policies and administrative regulations. Ms. Ostrowski, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Mr. Peters?
Yes.
Ms. Hardeman?
Yes.
Ms. Myers?
Yes.
Dr. Rosello?
Yes.
Ms. Greiner?
Yes.
Mr. Kozire?
Yes, and the resolution has been approved. Before us now is our consent agenda involving Green Hills AEA 2425 agreement for school-based interventionist, trauma-informed online academy proposal, social emotional learning curriculum contracts, the 2024-25 IJAG secondary memorandum of understanding, teachers on call contract, approval of our preschool community partner agreement, approval of our agreement for secondary mathematics implementation and professional development, approval of our agreement with Impact Ed Edu, renewal of our ClassLink subscription, renewal of our NatNex subscription and support, renewal of our Itopia Cloud Apps Classroom, approval of our special education contracts for students placed outside of the Council Bluffs School District. Those are Alpha School, Prime Home, and Heartland Schools of Omaha. We have personnel actions, and we also have claims and accounts in this consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that the board approves the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just, on this consent agenda, it's good to see the teachers on call extension. I know initially when I was first running for school board, I wasn't completely sure about teachers on call, but so far I've heard nothing but positive stuff about it. So I was glad to see that. Just that.
Okay.
And if I might, Mr. Peters, I appreciate you speaking to that because it was really a contract that caused a shift of doing business differently. But Mr. Milborn and his office have done a really good job of tracking our data to ensure that the ROI was there. And we feel really good about it. And the fill rate is something I know our schools really appreciate. So thank you.
Yeah, and sorry to piggyback once more on that, I'm really glad that you mentioned that with the data gathering. I really appreciate everything that Gary and his team did, especially like last year when we were talking about this with the survey results and everything from this. It was really, really good. So thank you.
How long have we been using teachers on call?
21. Since 20.
Wow, this is our fourth year.
If there's no further discussion before us, we have a resolution to approve our consent agenda. Mrs. Strosky, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Greiner?
Yes.
Ms. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Hardeman?
Yes.
Dr. Rosello?
Yes.
Mr. Peters?
Yes.
Mr. Kazire?
Yes, and the resolution to approve our consent agenda has passed. Before we move into our closed session, I'd like to thank all of those families and supporters of our students and staff who joined us tonight to honor those students and staff members for their dedication to either their education or the education of our students. And I would also like to thank our anonymous donor for giving this money so generously in the amount of, I believe, $400,000 to our students, to our math and science teachers. I'm not an accountant, but any money that we give through the school district to an employee is taxable. Because it's a part of a wage. If we were family members within them, of course, there are guidelines on giving family members money without having it taxed, but this is part of the pay. So there is no question of why isn't this money, or why is this money being taxed? It's being taxed because it has to be taxed. Otherwise, our employees would be very upset with us when they file their upcoming tax returns that they're going to have to come up with money out of their own pocket. So, so I just wanted to address that because the money that is coming to the district from this generous community member, I welcome it. I mean, if it's going to help retain our teachers that are in those classrooms that are hard to fill in the science and the math programs, I welcome it. I mean, I don't want to discourage it. So let's put it to rest here that and yes, they may want to be anonymous. That's their right. And yes, they may want to designate how that money is spent. That's their right. We're living up to their requests. So I welcome that. And I mean, I look at how this community has stepped up to our students. I mean, we have an early childhood academy in the Ann Nelson Early Childhood Learning Center. We have all of our school buildings that our taxpayers agreed that, yes, it's important for us to pay that additional money, pay that additional penny in sales tax so that we can improve the buildings that our students are thriving and learning in. So to shame somebody for giving money to help those students in our community that are most deserving and most needed seems ridiculous to me. I just can't fathom that we want to shame somebody for donating money to that will improve the lives of our students. We graduated 588 students this last week. Nearly 130 of them graduated or walked the stage at Iowa Western the week before. I can't think of any place in the state of Iowa, let alone throughout the nation, that is graduating students from college in the numbers that we are before they graduate from high school. And this is because we have donors and people that are interested in the lives of our students and want our students to have a chance to be able to be successful in their lives. So I praise the people that are willing to take their hard-earned money and, well, even if it isn't hard-earned money, I mean, it could be easily earned. I don't care. Regardless of how they earned their money, as long as it's done legally, I have no problems with it. And if they want to be quiet about it, I'm going to honor that. So I want to thank those community members that have made such an impact on our students' lives. And I welcome them, and I want to publicly thank them for that. So to move forward, we have a resolution to go into closed session. Would the maker of the resolution please read as written in our board agenda?
I move that we move to closed session as provided in section 21.51I of the open meetings law be conducted to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose performance is being considered to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation, and that individual has requested a closed session.
Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, before us we have a resolution to go into closed session as provided by state code. Mrs. Ostrowski, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Ozello.
Yes.
Mr. Peters.
Yes.
Ms. Myers.
Yes.
Mrs. Greiner.
Yes.
Ms. Hardiman.
Yes.
Did I get everybody? And Mr. Kazire.
Yes. And with that, we will retire to go into closed session.